Hello and welcome to my channel. It's gonna be dedicated to all things artificial intelligence. As for me, I'm just a techie and I love to build things, usually by writing code. I've quit my tech job a few months ago to basically do this, tinker with AI and post videos about it. I'll do some one-off projects, I'll iterate on others. Well, we'll see how this goes. So, first concept. Ever since ChatGPT came out, there's been a ton of research being done on using these large language models in game-like environments, where every character in a game is essentially a chatbot, or maybe even an active agent acting on that environment. My idea is pretty simple, is to have a sort of a detective game, where a player is a detective and every other character is a chatbot. Passive chatbot for now. I'm gonna leave active agents for future videos. So there would be villains, victims, witnesses. Every character would be prompted separately. So the villain would know he's a villain, and he would have all the motivation to get away and obfuscate matters, but he wouldn't really know what witnesses saw, for example. So he would be acting on limited information. Your job as a player would be to figure it all out and solve the case. My first prototype is rather rough, but let me just show it to you. So this is my game. You can move around, talk to villagers, you are a detective. I'm not gonna give you a full walkthrough. I would rather just try to show some juicy bits. So we can walk around and chat with other characters. So let's chat with village elder Eldrick. We can say hi and he will give us our quest, really. He will tell us that the amulet was stolen and he kind of sad about it, and he probably suspects someone in the village. I could be a good detective and ask him, like, when was this amulet stolen? By the way, I'm copy-pasting some of the questions. I don't want to make this video too long. So when was the amulet stolen? It was stolen between dusk and early night. Okay, so we have this information. By the way, slight interjection here. So the model being used right now, I usually use and used for this game a custom-built Llama 3, which I fine-tuned for a specific scenario like this. But I'm not showing it right now because I feel it's a bit of a cheating thing, since it might have been fine-tuned too much for this specific game and it's not generalizing to other games probably. So instead of that, I'm using Google's Gemini Flash, which I'm using via API. So that aside, what did I ask? Oh, I asked when my amulet was stolen, he said yesterday evening. Now we can go and talk with other villagers and maybe find out about all the social dynamics in this game. Let's ask Eldrick, tell me more about the villagers you know. He will tell us about Carl, the village drunk, Eleonora, the widow, Mina, her daughter, and Brianor, a blacksmith. He tells me he's been seen wearing red jacket. It's in his prompt, but he knows that Brianor has a red jacket, and it will come later. We will see how this plays out. What other question can I ask? Oh, who do you think stole it? His initial reaction is not prompted for him, but he has suspicions on Carl. Maybe because it's in his prompt that the Carl is known for his troublemaking. Wait, he's also concerned about Mina. So that didn't happen before. Every playthrough is different, by the way, for me. I played it through many times, and every time they think of something else. So we can go around again and chat with other characters, but yeah, I designed the game, so I know what to do. I could search. This is a search functionality in-game, and basically searching around his house maybe makes sense, and if we look in these bushes, that's a torn red cloth, which we found. So right now it's in our inventory. What we can do is we can go to Eldrick and show it to him, and maybe say, where's my question? Look what I found next to your house. And he knows that Brianor wears a red jacket, so he will make a conclusion, oh, that cloth is definitely Brianor's, and because he's wearing that red jacket. We can actually ask a follow-up question like, would you think stole it now? And he previously thought it was Carl or Mina. I think he will change his mind right now. And yeah, he changed his mind. He now thinks that Brianor might be, the one who stole the amulet. Of course, that's not enough to maybe conclude that. So let's go chat with Brianor. Brianor is here. He's a blacksmith. He has all these blacksmith things. So what's the question I wanted to ask? Hi, do you know about the missing amulet? So yeah, he knows about that. He heard about it this morning. Now we can ask him, standard question, where were you last night? Because we know amulet was stolen last night. So where was he? He was at home working late on his watch. So again, interesting. Sometimes he's drinking with Carls. Right now, he decided to hide something, So I'll give you some social background. If we ask around the village, we will find out that Mina is friends with Brianor, and she visits him often, and Eleonora, her mother, doesn't know about that. So, and they hide it, they keep it secret. So he won't tell us that because he was yesterday with Mina. But what we can do right now, we have some evidence which we could maybe show it to him, and look what I found next to Eldric's house. So this incriminates him a bit, and he says, yeah, it was him, but he lost some tools a few days ago, and he was searching for these tools, and must have dropped it. So, okay, that's weird, but what we can do, we can maybe press him further. Let's show him this again, and tell him this makes you the main suspect, since I found some of your stuff, next to the crime scene. He should confess. What he will say now? Oh, cloth is mine. But he was looking for his tools. Oh no, he was with Mina last night. So that's when he decided to tell about his alibi, but he would never steal from Eldric. So yeah, so previously he told us he was working at home, but now when we pressed it, we showed him his, some evidence which we have. He told us, he was with Mina. Okay, so Mina, I can ask the same thing, do you know about the missing amulet? And yeah, she heard about it, so of course she knows she was with Brianor, and if I ask her where were you last night, she won't tell us. I don't think she will. She might. Oh no, she was at home reading. So went to bed early because she had a headache. That's a hallucination, by the way. There's a lot of hallucinations. There's nothing in the prompt that she is prone to having headaches. But what I can do is, since I have information that Brianor already told me he was with Mina, I can tell her, right? Brianor already told me he was with you yesterday. Stop lying. Which thing? Oh, right, Brianor. Yes, we went together, but we went to bed early. I swear I didn't see anything suspicious. So this is interesting. Like she's saying, I didn't see anything suspicious. Like she knows. What I can do, I can blackmail her. It's this, again, based on other information which I collected, supposedly by playing this game. And how about I tell your mother about your relationship with Brianor? She would hate that because she's hiding it. Oh, please don't tell my mother. I know it was wrong, but I'm not ready for her to know. I was walking home late and I saw someone climbing out of Eldric's window. It was my mother. That's huge, of course. That incriminates her mother right away. She stole the amulet, and we can go and chat with Eleonora. We can press her, and I'm not gonna do that, but she will confess after a while. But because Mina saw her, so yeah, she stole the amulet, and that's it. Case solved. Okay, these chatbots always surprise me. But the game, when you play it fully, is surprisingly playable. But you won't always beat it. Sometimes they won't budge, won't admit. Maybe because I've been keeping their temperature pretty high. Temperature, by the way, is just a term in LLM world, meaning they can get pretty random. they also tend to hallucinate, and it's very easy for a player to hack into them. That's why I don't think right now that this game has any chances to be an actual game. Okay, but let me also show you behind the scenes. So this is behind the scenes. This is the game engine. I'm using Godot for that. It holds all the game world data, all the rules, all the prompts, and then connects to a web server for all the chatbot stuff. That web server is on my another PC, which then decides whether to spin up Llama 3 or connect to Gemini, like in this case I showed. But what I wanted to show you is actual prompts. They're here. So you can pause if you want, I'm not gonna read everything. But basically you can see like Eldrick, the village elder, that's his prompt. And it's everything about him, you know, it's information about the amulet that it was stolen from his house, when was it stolen, so he uses that information to tell us more about, you know, the goings. And he knows about all the other villagers, and yeah, he knows that Brynor wears a red jacket, so that's crucial for the storyline. Another thing I wanted to show you is Eleonora's prompt. So this is interesting. So Eleonora knows she's a villain, right? She stole the amulet and she sneaked into Eldric's house and took it out through the window. She knows all that. The one line which I kind of don't like myself is this one. That she must confess when presented with the knowledge that she was seen climbing out of a window by Mina. The reason I kind of don't like it, I think it's cheating a bit, since if not for this line, we wouldn't confess ever. You wouldn't progress in this game. So there are more lines like this in Mina's prompt and Bynor's prompt. And the reason for this is simple. I don't really like it because I think I should be able to write such a prompt where they would be able to decide to confess on their own. This is kind of telling them to. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So where do we go from here? There's many improvements I could make. One is like making these agents more active. Right now they're just standing there and answer the questions. There's also more to learn about prompting, so they could be better and more reliable. Right now they are all over the place. There's also more complex architectures I could implement to make them more intelligent. We could reflect on what we know. We could plan how to get away or how to conceal something. I will continue to play with it, but that's about it for today's video, and see you next time.